So, welcome to another installment. It's just me, Chairman Jack of East Thurrock Football Club. And maybe this is the first one you've stumbled across. Every week since the start of 2024, I want to say, every Monday I've just done a video just chatting. It'll be more focused about the behind the scenes. I won't really chat as much about the football side as we go along. There's talks that a few of our owners are going to get together and do kind of a weekly more about the football piece and experiences of away games, sort of home games, what's going on there. But this has very much always been focused on well, what's going on behind the scenes. We give a much more transparent element in the Tuesday owners email. So if you're not an owner yet, just sign up. It's £5 a month or £50 a year. If you're under 16, there's a £15 a year. And the only reason we do that is just because um, in the legal structure of a community benefit society, an under 16-year-old is not allowed to vote. That's not our decision. That's the official framework of what we've set up as an organisation. It's effectively a charity, but the framework allows, it means if we acquire assets, we can't just go and flog them off as we want. The stuff that we get has to be used for our benefit and the benefit of the community, which is really good. It's really useful. It's an element of peace of mind for everyone involved that we are doing this the right way for the right reasons. Um, and then, kind of what I want to touch on this week, I'll touch on a little bit of football at the end, but we get more owners continue to join. So, two more owners signed up yesterday. Thank you to everyone for their support. Keep spreading the word. I know the football hasn't been to the level we would like so far, but it's getting better. But the key thing is we keep building the off field. At the end of the day, it's almost very much some might say the separation of church and state is another good example. But the job of the committee is to run a good organization, make sure money's coming in so that we can pay all our bills, we can get the stadium ready for in future, if going up, things like that, and just make sure everything functions the way it should. And then the job of the managers is to make sure the football's going well, get the results they want, and they're working hard to achieve that. And I genuinely believe that that's not oh, it's the sort of thing where you hear that the football statement, oh, he has our full support, and then a week later it's all meltdown. No, genuinely believe we're getting there and seeing positive stuff, particularly this week. So I'll do a little bit on that later, but another week with attendance over 150 people, which is great because you look a couple of leagues up and there's teams not getting that. And I think we'll continue to go forward. I can only apologise that the live stream yesterday was not up to standard. Signal issues is what led to it, which is out of our hands to an element. There'll be days where the signal's excellent. There'll be days where it's not. The only one where we've had really bad signal before this was when it rained. And I don't know if that impacts either the camera picking up the signal or the signal coming down. I'm not a whiz in terms of that side of technology, but that was definitely a tough day for the signal then. But we'll keep looking. We're definitely open to, if that's not working, we'll try find another sim, another provider, and hopefully that will then get that up because we do want to make sure there's high quality streaming available because we've got fans all over the world. It's not just fans locally who want to watch the games. So we're broadcasting everywhere. And what we'll do is we'll just change to another provider if we're not getting the service we want. But the game still records, and that's one of the beauties of VO is you've got the streaming which goes out, and at the same time it's also recording, and then that's not impacted by if the signal goes down. So if you jump over to YouTube, we've still got a full recording of any time when the signal went down. So that's there. We had two votes as ownership this last week, so we get together once a month as owners, and some of you will already know this, but if you're watching and you're not an owner of the football club, by all means do become an owner of the football club. Everyone has an equal share, so if you become an owner, you have as much say as me, which is great, and that then just frees up, and it's the way football should be. And organisations, especially community-focused ones, why not be open, transparent? Every penny we spend, you see that. Every decision we make like this, why not? Let's put as much stuff to an owner decision as possible. So the question kind of been around, well, if end of season parties, things like that, who pays and how do we do that? Because some clubs will just say they'll put aside like 500 quid through the season and then they'll give it to the managers and players, captain, however they want to do it, and then go, hey, go out and enjoy yourselves. You've put in a lot of effort, especially where we're not paying guys at this level. So what we decided as a committee is we do £30 for each win and £10 for each draw. So we put that to the ownership and they've approved that. And that's one that each year before the season, we'll put some options and we'll probably put a wider range of options next year. Because we'd have more time and we know, hey, we need to do this in June, July ahead of the first game. No, August or whenever it might be. We'll do it at some point over the summer, especially some of that dead period when there's no football. Sad times. And then that's something that owners can control because that sets the correct tone that we go, hey, what do you want? And there might be times where we go, actually, the club's in a really good financial spot. Do we want to put more into this entertainment fund than maybe paying players in wages and expenses? So there's that balancing act that we can decide, but let's put in the owner's hands. And it's just a nice thing that if the managers, hey, decide the lads have done really well, maybe Tiptree away the end of this month's our first win, and they know, hey, £30 going in the the squad entertainment fund. They might go, look, we're going to buy 30 quid's worth of booze or something for the players' coach on the way home. Different examples, but they can use it however they want. We trust the managers to use that. We're not going to sit here and go, oh, you have to do this with it. It's for them to sort out. They're on the playing side, but it's a nice reward and a nice incentive. And who knows, that could easily go up where we're talking about £20 and £50 or whatever next year, and we'll have a better financial position of knowing, well, what are the costs coming up, because everything we've done this year, we'll know stuff that, hey, that was a one-off, we won't need to do that again. This is stuff that is going to be a regular annual or monthly or weekly cost. So it's important just to get our footing year one. The other part was, and the other vote that we had is away coach travel. So we trialled it for our first away game, and we've had one away game so far. First 8 weeks of the season, when we get to the end of that, we'll have only had one away. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. And so we've put a pricing model to owners for approval, and it's free for players, coaches, managers, because, hey, they're not getting paid. They're doing us a solid of volunteering their time. So why would we charge them? That'd be a bit much. £15 for owners and then £20 for non-owners. So quite frankly, if you're a non-owner, just sign up and become an owner at least for a month. That covers that difference in coach cost. So we just wanted to find some balance where, hey, what are the extra perks of being an owner? And we felt that was missing in the terms of the coach travel. So it's something we've added. By all means, if you're not an owner, sign up. What are you waiting for? Become part of the East Thurrock Community Football Club family. So that's the two votes there. And by all means, if there's other things that you're an owner and you think, actually, I'd love a say in this and that element, then let us know. It'll very much be on the business side of the football club, because other than appointing the manager, I haven't had any football decisions to make, and I've got no ambitions to make football decisions. We've got a fantastic couple of managers, and then John Coventry Senior assisting as well. We've got a fantastic goalkeeper coach. Many clubs at this level wouldn't have a goalkeeper coach. We do. And so I trust them to deliver what needs to be delivered there. But we just need to make sure everything's running this side. And if there's other parts and you see that other clubs are doing particular things, raise it and let us know, because a lot of this is, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're looking at what other clubs do and go, actually, that seems a really, really good idea. Let's bring that into our club. So that's kind of most of the behind the scenes stuff. I'll just chat a little bit on football. It was a much, much more positive display on Saturday. They kind of got the ball down. They were passing it around. They were a lot wider. And that's all really good things to see as we progress. It was disappointing and frustrating that we didn't get points on the board. We were definitely the better team, I would say, for long spells of the game. I don't think that's an unfair or biased opinion. It was just need to be more clinical up front, and there was literally two defensive lapses all game, and they capitalised on both of them. And that's one that will iron that out. I'm sure they will, but you see how close it is. You iron out one of those defensive lapses, and sort of in the first half, there's probably 3 chances we should have scored. We got one of them. And that's one where, hey, at half time you're 3-1 up, and then you're in a very, very different spot. So we haven't seen many new players come in. We know they're around the squad. There's some additional faces that the coaching staff managers are working on, and that will continue then to strengthen as we go on. So keep an eye out. But I'm confident we're getting points on the board in September, and then that will just build confidence from there. So fingers crossed that while it wasn't as tough, like when you're playing Kings Park Rangers, you're going to struggle, especially with us as year one. I think we'll be all right year two. But it's one where we just need to get some wins under our belt. But fingers crossed, it's a game where we're getting the ball down, playing it rather than putting it long. And a few players filling in at new positions. I thought Ray Sniz, captain, when he moved into central midfield, played a really, really good game yesterday, and sort of watching it back, because I don't just sit here and go, hey, what did I feel the first time watching? I'll sit there and watch the game back, because we put the full games onto YouTube. So it's there if you want to go and watch that as well. But no, it's coming, and that's not through amber tinted eyes. It's genuinely there. And other games I've come away, Sudbury is a perfect example, bitterly disappointed. And not in an element, it's like, well, where is this going? But I definitely left yesterday's game and I was like, I can see it. It's really close. And it's probably more annoying that we're close and it's that tiny bit just to get over the line versus, hey, that's just not good enough. Because when you see that difference in quality between the two teams, because the other squad's got some guys that come down from step 4, that's going to be a difference you can't just bridge with, hey, a few more training sessions. Whereas this squad is nearly there. They'll add some more people, and then that will just tick it over the top, and we could be talking about some real good results. So thanks so much for listening. Up the Rocks, and yeah, we keep powering on to next week.